Our family loves to travel. We love theater and performing arts, music.
Be involved in charitable things, a little bit of art. I'm kind of a bad painter, but enjoy doing it. The thing I most like to do is love my dog, Charlie. So when I got the diagnosis that something was wrong with my blood, we really didn't know how much time I was going to have. The shock was terrifying.
Cindy's disease started almost 20 years ago and progressed very slowly for maybe 15 years, and then it began to accelerate.
I was actually developing the beginning of leukemia.
When I first heard that my mom would need a transplant, I was, of course, really scared. They'd already found out that my aunt wasn't a perfect match.
So we were going to have to look outside the family to find someone who could help save my life. I first heard about Be the Match at the doctor's office, was told that they would be able to contact registries all over the world to look for someone who was my perfect match.
You couldn't be more thankful for when you realize you need it, and that there's this whole infrastructure of people whose job it is and whose role it is to find the match and to make sure that you get the care that you need.
A young woman, 19 years old, from a little town in the middle of the desert in Israel, who had swabbed her cheek as part of her enrollment in the military. She didn't know me. She didn't know anything about my family. She was scared about what it might have involved, but she said yes, she was my perfect match.
Thinking that someone who had no idea who our mom was willing to take this step and show this strength and kindness and empathy to do something like that was really awe-inspiring. Really quickly after that, my sister and I both joined the registry and would hope to return the favor to another family someday.
Joining the registry sort of felt like a no-brainer, especially after everything that my mom went through. The idea that we could save someone's life like my mom's, it was just an obvious choice.
In the meantime, COVID hits. As borders had closed because of COVID and air transport had basically been shut down, how it was we were going to be able to get the cells all the way from Israel to Southern California.
I was in pretty bad shape by that point, and my heart was under a great deal of strain.
And so it was this tremendous sense of relief. Be the Match is taking care of the logistics and making sure that the life-saving cells that are needed are where they need to be and when they need to be as soon as she's ready to get them.
The waiting between when we intended to go to transplant and when we ultimately did was excruciating.
There really was no in-person visit, of course. It consisted of us standing across the street from the hospital where we could see the lounge and waving up to her while we were talking on the cell phone. Really, my daughters who came up with maybe one of the best things to do, and they made a bunch of cards and notes for Cindy that they prepackaged and had available in a plastic bin for her to take to the hospital, and she was able to open one up every day or two up every day and read them.
Gary supported me. The girls supported me with so much love. You hang on to that love when you're by yourself in the hospital at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep. That is what sustains you.
Congratulations. Yay.
Meeting Cindy's donor was one of the most remarkable things that's ever happened to us.
I am overwhelmed with the chance to have met Rotem. She is just as lovely and wonderful as I thought she would be. I could tell right away that I loved her. We couldn't stop shaking and crying and tears of joy. We were so happy. We felt like family.
We are family.
You are family.
Yes.
It sort of feels impossible to convey the depth of gratitude that we had towards Rotem. I kept telling her how grateful I was for her, but I also just wanted to get to know her. We only had about a week to spend with Rotem, which didn't feel like nearly enough time for how much of a part of our family she immediately became.
We are really deeply moved and touched and honored that we've been asked to be honorary chairs for the soiree.
I know that we just all have so much gratitude for Be the Match that we're excited to get to share with others and give back to the organization.
It's in our bones to support Be the Match. We want to see everyone be able to find the match that they need. And we will continue to work towards that end by supporting Be the Match.
Be the Match makes it possible for patients to live. I can't think of any organization that has a more important mission.